All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our Mindset Monday session. I hope everyone is doing well today. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Time to kind of decompress, spend time with family, do whatever it is that allows you to kind of detach, right? So that you can re-energize yourself and refocus. My weekend was somewhat relaxed, so it was cool. How's everybody doing? You guys okay? Yes.
Doing good.
What did you say, Desmond?
Doing good.
Doing good? Good. Awesome. Hold on 1 second. I don't think I have you guys on the right. Okay, this might sound better now. All right. So last week, we talked about breathing and the importance of it, kind of just in everyday life and how it impacts your body overall. So we're going to dig into that a little bit more. We're going to do another exercise, and we're going to kind of add a little bit to it. But first, I want us to listen to something, and we'll go from there. All right. So I'm gonna play something, and I just want you guys to just sit and just listen. Just listen. Okay. Here we go. It's only a short piece, but that was an improv jazz group, right? And in improv jazz, the members, they are immersed in their experience, so much so that they're able to just feed off of each other's energy, right? And kind of just move as each other moves. You hear the piano, you hear the drummer, you hear the saxophonist, right? and they all have their own individual responsibilities, and they don't know what the saxophonist is going to play or where he's going to take the piece, but they're all immersed in the experience together and they flow, right? They're not asking the question in their head of, oh, I wonder what he's going to play, or I wonder how this is going to go. I wonder if we're going to be able to do this, if we're going to be able to make this sound good. They just flow, right? And wherever the music takes them, they go, right? It's beautiful. And if you listen, if you just Google, right, improv jazz, and just listen to some of the complex melodies that they play, and some of the complex runs, and just some of the more complex pieces, you'll hear how it just flows, right? That's a state that, as traders, we have to get to. We can't tell the market what to do, right? We can't control it in any way, shape, or form, but we have to be in a state, we have to be immersed in our experience to be able to just flow with whatever the market gives us, right? And we have to be able to remove the self-talk from the scenario, right? And we've been talking about the self-talk piece quite a bit, right? But we have to be able to remove that self-talk from the scenario, just like the improv jazz musicians do, right? They're not questioning themselves. They're not questioning their peers, right? Their teammates. They're not questioning the environment. They're just immersed in it and taking what it gives them and going, just flowing, right? So as we're in this trading experience, as we're marking up the charts, as we're looking at how things are playing out on a daily basis, my desire for us is to get to a space where we're immersed in the experience and we just take what the market gives us and we automatically just flow with our rules. If this happens, then I do this. If this happens, then I do this. If this happens, then I do this. And not question, oh, well, should I do this? Or maybe I can possibly do this, or, well, let me try this, right? All these extra questions, or I don't know if I'm good enough to really be successful in this, or I don't know if I'm smart enough to create these rules, or I don't know if I can really be successful in this thing, or I'm afraid to take this trade, I'm afraid to take action, but we just flow. Okay. So that's my goal with us as a unit, right? We get to that space where our mind is just focused intently on the rules and what is actually happening in the moment. All right. So last week we talked about breathing and how important breathing is in just our daily process and how we move and function as individuals, but also how it helps relax our body. And in that relaxation, we're able to then start to narrow our focus, right? And remove all of the extra things that are going on and just focus on where we want to be. Okay. So that's, it really excites me, but that's really where I want us to get to, is just a free flow state. Once we sit down at our computer and we look at these charts and we're watching the market move, we just flow like water. Okay. You guys follow me on that thought?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is good.
Yeah.
Okay. So in order to get there, right, we have to work on removing that self-talk, right? We have to work on removing that self-talk. Okay. That's one of the major pieces. We'll get going real good. And then something will happen. We'll get scared, right? It'll trigger that fear in us, right? That fight or flight, and we'll back away. Right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you guys through an experience. So I want everybody to sit comfortably. wherever you are, right? I know some folks that are in other countries, you might be at work. So if you can just think through this experience with us, and then maybe when you get home, you can actually go through it. But so sit comfortably and close your eyes. Okay. And we're just going to breathe for a second. Okay. Just breathe normally, but take your breaths a little bit deeper, right? So breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, last week we talked about breathing a specific way, right? Feeling your stomach expand first, then your lungs, or then your chest, right? And feeling the air just fill your lungs, okay? So for the next few breaths, we're going to focus on that, right? Focus on expanding your stomach first as you breathe in, right? And then we're going to hold that breath, and then we're going to release it, okay? So focus on breathing in, expanding your stomach, breathe in, hold, breathe out. And remember, as you're breathing in through your nose. And as you're breathing out, you're blowing out through your mouth. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. So I want you guys to continue breathing, remove the hold, and just take the deep breath in. And breathe out through your mouth. I want you guys to continue breathing like that. I'm going to talk you guys through something. Okay, so continue breathing. Now imagine you're sitting at your charts, right? And we went through our Saturday ritual. You have your charts marked up and you're looking at the pound yen. You're waiting on a trade to occur, right? You're waiting on the price to get to the 118, 127 zone. Okay, continue breathing. You're waiting on price to get to the 118, 127 zone. You have your trend lines marked up. You have your fib on the chart. And you're just waiting for price to get to that sweet spot so that you can initiate the short trade down to the 382. Your phone rings. You get a phone call. You get immersed in the conversation. You walk away from your computer. You come back to the computer 2 hours later and you miss the trade. Price, strong bearish candle to the downside, 50 pips. You missed the trade. You don't have the opportunity to get in. What are you telling yourself in that moment? Imagine what you're telling yourself in that moment. Okay. Frustrated because you walked away from your charts. You didn't have an alert set, right? I should have done this. I shouldn't have answered the phone. I knew this was going to happen to me. This always happens to me. I always miss these great trade setups. Imagine what you feel like in that moment. The frustration. The fear that you just missed out on a great opportunity and you're telling yourself, I don't know if I'm going to get another opportunity like this week. How does that make you feel? Somebody unmute your line and tell me how you feel in this moment.
Upset.
Upset. Anybody else?
Frustrated.
Frustrated.
Somewhat defeated.
Defeated.
Angry.
Angry. Okay. Now, you understand how you feel in that moment. Okay. Open your eyes for me. Feel that. Sit right here in the space. Feel that moment. Feel that experience. Okay. Just really allow your body to feel it. What is it like in that moment? Okay. Now, continue breathing. Close your eyes. Deep breath. Now, imagine it's Tuesday. Sitting at your charts. Charts are marked up. Trend line is drawn. The pound Aussie is preparing for a short trade. Potential 500 pips. You're waiting for a B boundary to form. It's 11:55. At 12 o'clock, the B boundary will form on your chart. Second candle to the right. Opportunity to enter the trade short. Potential 500 plus pips. In this moment, what would you like to tell yourself? You have 5 minutes before that B boundary forms. 5 minutes before you could potentially enter the trade to the downside. What is it that you would like to tell yourself? How would you like to feel in this moment? Someone unmute your line and tell me what you would like to tell yourself in this moment.
Be patient. Wait.
Be patient.
I can do this.
I can do this. I deserve success. How do you want your body to feel in this moment? I would like to feel relaxed and engaged in the process. How would you like your body to feel in this moment?
Enthused.
What was that?
Enthused.
Enthused.
Relaxed.
Relaxed. Visualize yourself now. It's 12 o'clock. The new AB boundary forms. You initiate the trade. You've calculated your stop loss. 55 pips. You enter the trade into your MetaTrader 4 app. Take profit. Your first take profit is 125 pips. You enter that into the app. You set your line at the 382. You set your other line at the 618. You set your other line at your A boundary. Trade is placed, and you allow it to move. Visualize yourself going through that in the moment, right? You've placed that trade. How do you feel? How do you feel in that moment? You place the trade, you set your phone down, you walk away from your chart, and you go on with doing your things throughout the day. You might be preparing lunch for the kids. You might be continuing your day at work. You might be getting ready to start dinner. You've calculated your stop loss. You know what your take profit levels are. You're comfortable with that trade and however it plays out. I'm relaxed. I was engaged. I was excited about the process. I was prepared for the opportunity. I'm okay with whatever the end result is, because I know I followed my rules. I know I calculated my stop loss. I know that I did not risk more than 1%. I know that if I get stopped out, it's just a small loss, but I'll have another opportunity that comes. You go back to your phone at 3:30 and you take a look at the trade. You're in profit, 75 pips. You're approaching TP1. How do you feel? You're in profit. You're excited because you know that you did the proper preparation. You know that you followed your rules. You modify the trade. You move that take profit number to take profit 2. Trade is moving well. Strong bearish candles to the downside. You move your take profit in MetaTrader 4 to take profit 2 at the 61.8 level. You shift your stop loss down to your entry, puts you at break even. Now you're in a risk-free trade. You can't lose. Even if price goes back to your entry, you're still at a point where you haven't lost anything. You're excited. You're engaged in the process. You're flowing with what the market gives you. You know that there's going to be a pullback that comes. And when that comes, you look for a potential second entry. But you're in a risk-free trade. Price is moving towards your take profit level. How would you like to feel in this moment? What would you like to be telling yourself in this moment?
This is easy and I can do this.
This is easy and I can do this.
Keep trusting the process, it means.
Trust the process.
I got it.
I've got this.
It's possible.
It's possible. Even though I may be nervous in this moment, I know that I've done what I was supposed to do. Even though I may be nervous in this moment, I know that I have the ability to be successful in this skill set development. Even though I may be nervous in this moment, I know that I'm worthy to have this opportunity. Even though in the past, I've been in this situation before and price has turned against me, I know that I followed my rules and I know that I've done everything that I was supposed to do according to my trading plan. So I'm okay with whatever the outcome will be. I'm okay with whatever the outcome will be because I trusted the process, because I followed my rules. You place your phone down, you walk away, come back 3 hours later, price pulled back, missed the pullback. However, you got a strong bearish candle to the downside and price at your take profit level. Take profit 2 achieved. followed your rules. I followed my rules. I entered the trade. I allowed the market to do what it was going to do. I let go of the desire to control the outcome. And the results are what they are. Open your eyes. Continue breathing. Feel how that feels. Replay the words that you were telling yourself. Replay the thoughts that you were having as you were going through that experience of following your rules, of allowing the market to do what it was going to do, releasing the desire to control the outcome. Knowing that you followed your trading plan, knowing that you followed your rules. How would you like to feel in that moment? Just feel it. This process of immersing yourself in the experience and rewriting the narrative that you tell yourself on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, on a minute-by-minute basis. It's not something that comes naturally. It's something that takes work, right? It's something that takes work. But as we continue to move through this process, it's something that we'll continue to work on together. But what we just went through is a process that you can do daily. And we'll continue to do this weekly. But it's a process you can take yourself through to start to visualize what it is that you desire to do. Not what it is that you don't want, but what is it that you desire? What is that you desire? And what do you need to do to achieve that? The thing about the mind and how the mind works is you get what you focus on. You get what you focus on. So if you focus on the things that you don't want, you'll get those things. The brain doesn't have the ability, the mind doesn't have the ability to understand emotion. It's not how it's designed, right? We as people, from our experience, things that have been placed in us throughout our life, right? Throughout our history, that's where our placement of emotion comes from. But the brain does not do that. We as people, from our experiences, we place the emotion on things. So the brain just takes what it's given. It just takes what it's given. So if you give it the things that you don't want, right? I don't want to lose. I don't want to miss this. I'm afraid. I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to feel insecure. I don't want to feel pain. The brain is going to give you that. the pain, the insecurity, the fear, the loss. Because it just takes the words that it's given and it takes action. So if we put ourselves in a space where we focus on what we do desire, not saying be oblivious to what's happening in the world and what's happening in our experience and what's happening around us, but if we intently focus on what it is that we desire, I desire to be successful. I desire to become a professional, consistently profitable trader, to cover my expenses, to then, right, allow me to walk away from whatever my current experience is. And these are the steps that I need to do to attain that. I desire to have successful relationships. I desire to have a circle of people around me that help me grow as I help them grow. Because I know that I'm worthy of a connected circle of friends that feed into each other. I know that I'm worthy of having success beyond my wildest imagination. I know that I have the ability to develop this skill that will allow me to not only change my life, but change generations' lives to come. I know that I'm worthy of this. And these are the steps that I need to take to achieve my desire. Your brain starts to work on bringing those things into your awareness. And it's not from a space of lack, but it's from a space of understanding that you're worthy of it. You're worthy of it. It's not going to be easy. Sometimes it might be uncomfortable. A lot of times it might be uncomfortable. But you're worthy of the success. You're worthy of the growth. You're worthy of new experiences. You're worthy of new friendships. You're worthy of new relationships. You're worthy of completely different experiences that help you grow to become the person that you've been placed on this earth to be. You're worthy of it. So if we focus on the things that we desire, because we're worthy, we'll be able to take steps forward. You can't walk forward if you're looking at what's behind you. Yes, the things in the past have taught us lessons, but we take those lessons and we move forward. But you're going to trip if you're looking behind you. You're worthy of it, man. You're worthy of it. It's about shifting the narrative. Shifting the narrative. Shifting the words that we choose. Shifting the words that we choose. Releasing the fear. Releasing the desire to control the outcome. Releasing those negative situations. Releasing the hurt, releasing the pain of our past. Forgiving and releasing that hold that individuals may have had on you in the past, from past relationships that you might not have forgiven them for. Releasing those feelings and attaching to the desires that you have for your life. Attaching to the vision of what's to come. attaching to the process that you'll have to go through to achieve what it is that's in front of you. You're worthy of it, man. You're worthy of it. That's Mindset Monday.
Awesome. Woohoo.
What thoughts
Thank
do you
you,
guys have?
Ryan.
What
I
feelings do you
am
guys have?
worthy.
You are. You are. What thoughts do you guys have? What feelings do you have? What's going through your mind in this moment?
For me, what came out was organized, patient, success. So those are the things that I wanna get towards or achieve, you know.
Awesome. Awesome.
I got more focusing on the things that you do want.
Yeah. Yeah. It's huge. It's huge. So even maybe going back to that conversation that we had back in June, right? Where I had you guys write that statement to yourself, right? What did you write in that statement? Did you write the things that you didn't want? Or did you write the things that you desired? Maybe do a little reflection to see where you stand on that. And if you haven't gone back to the Mindset Mondays from June, I definitely recommend doing so. But yeah, where are you placing your focus? A lot of times we do things unintentionally, right? We're not even aware of the words that we're telling ourselves, right? Or where we're placing our focus. Because we're just going throughout our day, going throughout our time, right? Be intentional. Be intentional, right? With your children, with your family members, right? Where are you placing your focus? With your friends, with your significant others, spouses, whatever it may be, where are you placing your focus? And then what outcomes are you getting from that focus? Right? Ms. Ebony, what you thinking about this morning?
I'm just in awe. Everything is just beautiful. Like you mentioned the message that we wrote to ourselves in the beginning of this. And I just remember writing what I desired. And one of them was for us to move. And we did move. And at the time when I wrote it, we weren't the time, like just to see how much has happened since the start of this group and just what it takes to be intentional. Like it's work, but when you, like you said, when you just focus on what you want, like it happens. It really happens. So
That's awesome.
It's amazing, that whole act of being submerged in what you want and just and like you said, not being oblivious about the things that's happening around you, but just keeping in mind, like, what do you want to feel? You know, focusing on what you want to feel. And I think from there, those things that those stressors, quote unquote stressors of everyday life, they just melt away. You know, it's
That's awesome.
yeah. So this is amazing.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else got any thoughts? Oh, okay. So this week, this week, right? Focus on the things that you desire. How do you desire to feel as you're going through your trading experience? How do you desire to feel as you're engaging in different situations within your life? Be intentional about your focus, where you place your thoughts, where you place your energy. Be intentional. Be intentional, right? You won't get it right all the time, but you'll be more aware. And as you're more aware, you can make tweaks, right? You can make tweaks. I should have been thinking about that. I chose these words. Let me refocus. I chose these words to my kids and I was just going. Let me refocus. Let me have another conversation with my spouse. Let me have another conversation with my siblings, with my parents. Let me have another conversation. You'll be more aware. And as we gain more awareness about who we are, why we are the way that we are, where all of that comes from, we can start to make those shifts towards our desire, towards our end goal. In this trading space, what is it that you desire, right? How do you desire to feel? What steps do you need to shift your intention as you're sitting down on your charts? That's Mindset Monday, good people. I appreciate you guys joining me this morning or this afternoon, depending on where you are. That's our focus. That's our focus for the week. Let's be intentional. Let's be intentional. All right.
Woohoo! Thank you, Ryan.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. You guys have a phenomenal day,
You
phenomenal
too.
week, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning,
Thank you.
7 a.m.
Thank you.
Eastern time, afternoon for some.
Thank you.
Thank
Ryan.
you.
Thank
Have a
you,
phenomenal day, everybody.
Ryan.
Powerful.
You're welcome.
Thank you.